So on the plus side, I'm feeling better. On the bad side, I'm still not 100%, and I got some other little junk going on. It's whatever, but it's that kind of stuff that just lingers. Um, yeah. Speaking of things that just linger, Kent Hovind, because of course that's what we do around here is follow the not the daily escapades of this clown, but you know, watch his content enough to see what kind of insanity he's doing. Last time we looked at his Wednesday video, and it was him promoting some nut job for a congressional district in Alabama. Not even his own district, mind you, an unrelated district. So yeah, let that violation of the Johnson Amendment sink in. But Kent's actually live right now on probably the tail end of his live stream about Song of Solomon 5, The Bride's Transformation. So we're just gonna jump right into that. I don't have anything too special to add. Otherwise, hey yo to Laura, as always. Yeah, getting out of bed is a good idea eventually. Just whenever you're comfortable with. And we got Zumito Mito hanging out. Excellent. All right. Let's do this. Bit more pep than last time. Can I do it? Probably not. Probably going to be pulling my hair out by the end, what little hair I've got left. Let's do this.
It is December the 7th, 2025. We need some singing around here. And if you guys do singing, solo, duet, triet, fourette, whatever, get something ready for every time we have a service. I'd like to have, you don't want to hear me sing.
We don't want to hear them sing either, Kent. I fucking hate church music. Let's just get very clear on that. I fucking hate it. It's garbage.
Okay, I get lots of requests. I sing anyway once in a while. Okay, December 7th, a day that is famous in American history and around the world. We'll talk about why in just a few.
Here we go. I already knew since it was December 7th, he's going to try to bring in evolution as the cause of Pearl Harbor. Also, it's a fun note that, well, not fun, but, historical note that this year followed the calendar the same way that 1941 did. So it is Sunday, December 7th right now. It was Sunday, December 7th when Pearl Harbor happened. Which, I forget exactly when that did happen because it was early morning, but it was Hawaii. So I feel like it was more like 1 in the afternoon range, Central or Eastern. So yeah, we're still a little ways from the actual moment.
Few minutes. Today we'll be in Song of Solomon, chapter 5 and 6. If you open your Bible exactly to the middle, you should hit the book of Psalms. You got Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon. Solomon wrote most of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon. It's a love story of he and his wife. He had 700.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor was 1:55 p.m. Central Time. So, still like 7:55, I think, in the morning at Pearl. So, yeah. Shows you how far away Hawaii is from the mainland.
I don't know which one it was. Okay. But a bride and groom, and it represents the love of Jesus Christ for his church, his bride, the church. Okay. Okay.
Are you sure about that?
The bride's transformation. She gets attitude adjustment and realizes, whoa, this ain't about me. I think you'll like this one this morning. Okay, we're on a bunch of channels, Facebook and Rumble, and let's see, X, and we have our own app, Kent Hovind TV, Instagram, TikTok. Sign up for all of them, okay? And just if they shut us off of one, go on to another one. Okay.
As always, if they shut us off of one, it's not if we violate terms of service and lose access to these platforms because we don't care about people's law. We care about is God's law, which is actually just people's law that we happen to agree with.
Here we go. December the 7th, a famous day, Pearl Harbor Day. We'll talk about that in a minute. Come join us if you want to bring your family down for Christmas. You don't have a family? We'll be your family. Christmas. Cheryl.
Hey, Nick. Glad to have you stop by. Hope you have a good day. Glad you had some fun from yesterday's stream. Tor, if you get the TV set up at the new place, awesome.
And we do some good cooking here, right? Where's Cheryl go? Let's see. Okay. Join us for the holidays. We love having people come see the place. You can try to break a record on our record board, get your name up there. You become world famous. You give you a certificate and hang on the wall a $7 dinosaur. That's worth something to somebody somewhere. You can spend.
Kent, if you just called it 7 Dino Bucks, it wouldn't be a problem. But the fact that you can't come up with a name clever like that and just have to call it $7 Dino, or literally just treated as if it's dollars. That's come on, man.
In our bookstore, I know that. Okay, get this dino dollars. Okay, break one of the races. If you have an extra vehicle,
Yeah, see, there you go. You almost went there. And oh, are you begging for vehicles again?
you'd like to donate to the ministry. We got several folks here that don't have a vehicle and need one. Okay, they come to help. We don't pay them much.
Otherwise, they can't work for me. I mean, volunteer for me. Because no one works here. That's why they don't get paid. Even though I say I give them money, I really don't.
Because we can't, because our budget is stretched real thin. But
come to our communist Christian compound. That's totally not communist, even though it actually fucking is, including their own Joseph Stalin. Nah, who are we kidding? Kent isn't cool enough to be Joseph Stalin, and Stalin was a real piece of shit. Although he did industrialize the fuck out of the Soviet Union. He did have some good things going. It's just the methods were a little brutal.
We give them housing, utilities, and provide for them if we can. I'd like to get some cars. If you got some sitting around, please donate it to our ministry. Get your tax write-off before the end of the year. We'll take a car, truck, motorcycle, tricycle, anything that runs would be a great help. I got
blood runs cold. Memories just been sold. My Jesus is the centerfold. Oh. Full out of Jesus, that's hilarious. Imagine the scene in Amish Paradise where the kids turn the magazine over, the Weird Al song music video, and it's a girl showing her ankle, and they're like, oh, whoa. Except it's Jesus. Oh, no.
A guy donated the money for me to buy this 2010 Toyota Prius.
Oh, by the way, I got a big comment that I hate to say was TLDR because I didn't want to be dismissive to it, but I'm still feeling sick, so I don't have the energy for it. That really went into detail on the whole Jesus was a socialist thing, saying it's wrong to say it. Let's just stress that I say it for the meme. One could define some elements of Jesus' ministry as socialist if one wanted to. There's elements that align. I don't give a fuck about the character or stories. I think he was a complete myth. That there could be no single person that could be seen as to be this Jesus unless someone really read between the lines on things. In the same way, someone saying Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw is real and then researching and discovering Ed Gein, not the same thing. We're talking that level of separation. Yeah, I just stress it's for the meme because it pisses off right wingers to say that's it. Okay, don't take some of this stuff too seriously.
I drove it to Birmingham yesterday and back. I love that thing, brother. It's got 335,000 miles on it. Now, that's probably not a record, but it's a whole lot. And it runs great, okay? It's 50 miles to the gallon. Got the bumper sticker. He is greater than I. Got my Dr. Dino.
Wow, that bumper sticker fucking sucks. And of course your dumbass has a Dr. Dino thing in helping school? What the fuck?
Or they couldn't get I already had the DINO on a different car, so now we got the D1NO. It looks like Dr. Dino. And we support the schools and wish they'd quit teaching
No, you fucking don't, you dumbass.
evolution. Come join us for Christmas or any other holiday. Come on. Our Noah's Ark is coming together. These guys are doing a fabulous job building Noah's Ark. It is 1/3 scale model, so it's still 172 feet long. And pretty cool. Each of the rooms on one end of the ark is going to have all the rooms. And we need a pink and a blue animal of every kind. Now, I had a wild idea. Justin, I found a pink pig. I couldn't find a blue one at Walmart. So I thought, hey, I'll buy some blue and pink spray paint.
Oh.
So if you want a project,
No, Kent, no. You know what? Go ahead. Do it. Throw your money away as you create true garbage. I'll sit back and laugh when you don't show the results.
And if you got some artistic skills, you can take some of the animals I bought. Let's see, dinosaur, sheep. Can you mask off the parts that you don't want to paint on soft and then spray paint the rest of it?
Not really, Kent. It's kind of a problem with doing plush things like that. You don't spray paint plush material.
Okay, well, if you'd like to help us with that, we'd like to fill the ark with preserved pears that we don't have to feed. Yeah, pink and blue giraffe. We got something like hippopotamus, rhinoceros, eagles, anything. So help us out. We already got giraffes. Put a pink and blue ribbon around their neck. Already got triceratops. So come help us.
Yeah, maybe that would suffice, Kent. Or maybe just you don't have to stress that because it should be understood. Because people know the story. You seem really stressed at identifying which one's a boy or a girl. Why? Would you get confused and try to make love to the wrong one?
Fill the ark with preserved pears. And I don't mean like, pears and apples and bananas. Okay. Okay. You can help us to open for free. Join our 777 Club. I want to give $1 a day to keep them folks going. Okay. We just want to win souls. Everything goes into the ministry. Trust on that.
Yeah, except for what goes into the overhead of keeping this stupid piece of shit place going. Oh, wait, that is going into the ministry. Because, the more overhead you have, the more money you have to spend on yourself and stupid projects like concrete dinosaurs and a 1/3 scale Noah's Ark and getting a fucking Prius and shit and more Jeeps because we gotta look like Jurassic Park around here, even though I don't want to admit it. And flying off to the fucking George Janko show for a podcast that's probably not even gonna get actually produced. Yep. And money goes right into the ministry, aka Hovind doing whatever the fuck he wants.
At 855 Big Dino extension 1 or 2. If you want to join our 7, we don't check up on it. We don't do any letters sending.
Yeah, you fucking do.
Got money begging for
Otherwise, how do you know how much money y'all have, Kent?
money. If you want to help, thank you. If you don't want to help, get out of the way. We're going to do it anyway. Okay. So,
Really? So then nobody actually needs to donate then? You just want money?
dino.com. 9.7 years. Today, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. A day which will live in infamy. No matter how long it may take us to overcome the premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.
Hey, it took 3.5 years. 3 3/4 years, if you want to be a bit more accurate. We kind of took care of it. The fight was won 80 years ago, bruh.
My dad, 21 years old when Pearl Harbor was bombed, and he and all the kids his age said, let's go sign up for the war. He tried, but he had one filling needed filled on his tooth, a cavity. So it wouldn't take him because all the dentists were gone also. It took him several months to find a dentist, got the tooth fixed, signed up, went and fought as a
Really, Kent? How do you know that? I'm going to pull a Ken Ham. Were you there?
in the early days of radar. My dad was electrical genius in every way, but really good with electronics and stuff. So he was.
Translation: he got trained by the Army specifically to work on that particular type of radar equipment. And that gave him the basis to later on learn other electronic elements. Basically, electronics are, they convey very well because it's very universal principles. But yeah, he wasn't a genius. He knew how to learn, unlike you.
In charge of take an island, get in there with your crew and set up a radar base for you to watch for enemy coming back. He was the only survivor of his platoon.
Yes, because he was sick in the fucking hospital. That's it. He's no hero. He's just some dumbass who got lucky. Quit bragging about it.
Here's the problem. The belief that the Japanese were a higher life form, learned from Darwin's stupid religion. It's not a theory, it's a religion, okay?
See?
Akin to Nazi Germany's ideology, contributed to a worldwide worldview that justified military expansion and subjugation of inferior nations.
Tangentially, Kent, one could look at that way if they, stick their tongue out and turn their head really, really oddly. But it was a natural element of, it's natural for empires to wish to expand. That's just how developing nations tended to be through those eras. And when they're inspired by things like Britain, Spain, etc., America, knowing, hey, these countries are taking over territory, they're getting resources, maybe we should do the same. Contrary to what you think, it had very little to do with any long existing before evolution was brought up, by the way. I always have to stress ethnic ideologies they had, but more of just a geopolitical reality of the day that, hey, we need resources. It's kind of what this stuff's always about.
The Japanese killed, I believe the number's 20 million Chinese and Filipinos and others. They thought they're an inferior species, just like Hitler.
No, they just didn't give a fuck. It doesn't have to go that deep, because it doesn't go that deep, Kent. It's not like the Nazis, where they had these laws and these ideologies being, hard coded into fucking texts that were like central to the entire ideology. No, Japan was just fucking brutal because they wanted to be fucking brutal. I won't deny that for a second. But it wasn't like you think it is, because you seem to only be able to think that evil is immediately Nazi and good is immediately whatever you think Christianity is, and that's the two sides of all reality.
Folks, I don't think most people realize how dangerous this stupid evolution religion is.
Japan's actions during the Second World War, before and during, have effectively nothing to do with the theory of evolution. And indeed, Nazi Germany's actions have effectively nothing to do with the theory of evolution, as we have stressed so many times in discussions with you, both actual active discussions people have and in these passive commentaries. The Nazis rejected evolutionary ideology. It held on to dogmas that predated the discovery of basic principles of evolution by Darwin, and had existed for centuries beforehand. Some groups have used science as a way to try to justify atrocities. People are assholes like that, just like people will use religion to justify atrocities. The only difference is a lot of times the religion actually does seem to condone the atrocities, if you read into things correctly. You don't get that with actual fucking science. It makes no declarations like religion does, which is another point to you stressing evolution as a religion is absolute buffoonery, because it's just not.
On my video series, I talk about the video number 5, the one they put me in prison for.
Yes, the one they put you in prison for, that they only put you in for 9.5 years, and was so dangerous that it had to be eradicated, yet somehow still exists, and you're still perfectly selling it, Kent. Yes, that DVD 5. Schrodinger's they're so dangerous and so powerful, they're just throwing him in jail for telling the truth, but somehow not actually getting rid of this media and making it impossible for it to continue to be. To where he can just openly say you can buy a copy, now, $50 for the whole set, and there are no issues. What the fuck, Kent?
The dangers of evolution. I cover all this in great detail. This theory is not only stupid, it's dangerous. We teach the kids they're an animal and wonder, why are they acting like animals?
You teach the kids they're damaged and need forgiveness from some magic sky daddy that loves them unconditionally, except it's not unconditional because it's based on a condition that you have to accept this random promise of bullshit and go under these contradictory edicts. Otherwise, you're a horrible, evil person. And in fact, you are a horrible, evil person regardless, but it's okay, because if you meet these unconditional criteria for unconditional love, magic sky daddy is going to protect you from whatever the hell happens after you cease to be. So you better live your actual life that you get like a piece of shit. That way you get the better rewards afterwards. Oh, and then we wonder why people are so fucked up, why people are so fucking greedy. Why no one gives a fuck about reality, because they believe absolute fucking nonsense from some Bronze Age mythology written by fucking morons, interpreted by even dumber morons 2 and 3 centuries or 3 millennia later. Piss off, Kent.
Duh. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. Stop teaching that stuff in our schools. It's not part of science. Anyway, Yamato.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because I'm Kent Hovind.
Yamato, Japanese government report created by the Ministry of Health, 1943. They finished it. This document, 6-volume report.
Let me take a stab at that, given that my ability to pronounce more complicated stuff is a little bit encumbered right now. Yamato Minzoku wo Chukaku to suru sekai seisaku no kento. There we go. I fixed it for you, Kent.
Created by the Ministry of Health, 1943. They finished it. This document, 6 volumes, deals with race theory in general and the rationale behind policies adopted by wartime Japan toward other races. They thought, we take over another country, they're inferior, kill them all except for whoever we need for slaves to run our, they've got oil, we need oil. What's the problem here? Take it over. Okay.
Yeah, that's America's policies in a nutshell.
I don't think you understand the cause of World War II until you understand Darwin's stupid theory. The origin of species.
The cause of World War II was as a direct result of issues stemming from the way we treated Germany in World War I. After World War I, the Western world blamed the rest of the society, basically blaming them for the war, which they actually didn't start, but they sure as hell inherited and pushed forward, creating a serious problem and a level of economic depression and a social bitterment to a point where someone like Adolf Hitler could get into power and could drive a nation to commit the atrocities they do. Japan, on the other end, wanting to become like the West, like nations like the United States, like Britain, deciding, yeah, we're going to have our own empire, because that was the nature of the culture. Since Japan had only relatively recently in its history been an actual unified identity as a nation rather than warring feudal states. Maybe it has to do with that. Maybe it has to do with combinations of a lot of bad decisions being made in the late 1800s and early 1900s, Kent. Maybe it has to do something with that and not a basic biological fucking fact.
Darwin's book, that's just the title page. The origin of species by means of natural selection or the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life. So, to all you vets and active members of our nation's military, thank you for what you did. Creation Science Evangelism, our ministry, and hundreds of other creation ministries are busy fighting the same war on a different front. So, thank you.
Piss the fuck off, Kent. You're no World War II hero. Your daddy isn't a World War II hero. You're no hero at all. You're a fucking monster, and your dad was a piece of shit. Fuck him and fuck you too.
Salute you. Okay, back to 112. Song of...
You don't deserve to be on the same planet as the remains of the USS Arizona. Go to hell, Kent, you an American piece of shit.
Solomon, chapter 5. It's a little bitty short chapter. By the way, if you have trouble reading your Bible, there are hundreds of places on the internet. They'll read it to you. This is like this website. You read the chapter 5 in 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Can you spare 3 minutes and 15 seconds out of your day to have somebody else read a chapter to you? When I was a brand new Christian, I got the Bible on record, 16 RPM, revolution per minute, by Alexander Scorby with his British accent.
Really, Kent? And did you have the 15-inch player to be able to play the transcription discs? Did you have that, or were these customized 12-inch, 16 RPM records? I'm genuinely asking.
And I used to listen to that all the time. One day I accidentally had it set on 33 RPM. And I hit the play and whoa, I was reading along in my Bible, so my eyes are following it and my ears are getting it. I said, I can understand this at 33 RPM. Sounds like Donald Duck, but then one day I tried.
Going back to his thing about Japan for a moment, I really do need to brush up and come up with something concise to present to him regarding that Chinese guy in the 1850s who tried to start a Christian empire in China, and his actions resulted in like 50 million people being killed. Because that's a thing that actually fucking happened that for some reason no one talks about. And yeah, I'd love to get Hoven's take on that, barring him obviously just saying he wasn't a real Christian. It's like, yeah, that's convenient, Kent.
I'd done 45 RPM. In the beginning, God created heaven and the earth, platform void. I can follow it.
Kent, I highly doubt you could follow a 16 RPM transcription disc at 45 RPM. That's at 2.5 times speed. Your comprehension skills are not that good.
You can read the whole Bible in 24 hours. You don't get it all, I understand. It's like flying over at 30,000 feet, get the big picture. But I went through it many, many times that way, and I'd recommend there's all kinds of channels that already do this. Look one up on your phone or on your iPad or on your, I don't even know what an iPad is, Joseph. Is that something you sleep on or? Okay. Anyway, 3 minutes. This guy does it in 2 minutes and 46 seconds. You could do that while you watch TV.
So out of touch, you can't just say, look it up on YouTube. That's where these are.
While you take a shower. Well, take a bath anyway. Okay. Here's Song of Solomon, chapter 5, is only 16 verses. In the first 8 verses, starts off with Solomon talking to his bride, how wonderful she is.
Yeah, 16 RPM is for transcription discs. At that slow of a speed, speech is about the only thing that's really tolerable to the human ear. Anything else comes off just horrible. Very low fidelity.
And then starting verse 2, the bride searches for her beloved. I want you to see her narcissism here. I.
Rosina, yes, you're referring to the Discord discussions, which I haven't checked that since I got online. Um, yeah, there's at least one interview somewhere out there that the recent interview with Kent that I'd heard had gotten pulled, and then as I look up Kent Hovind interview on Google with like a recent search query of like past week, I end up seeing two separate Instagram posts that are identical from different accounts, but they're saying that they had to pull the interview with Kent because they learned more about him, da da da, as seen in Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, you should sign up and check that out. It's a fun place. Um, and it got me thinking, wondering about that George Janko crap that he was supposed to have done Monday. If we'll ever see the light of day from that. So I'm keeping an eye out and keeping doing some searches on occasion.
My. It's all about me, my, I. We'll go into that in just a second here. The poor lady's a narcissist, like most everybody is. They're more worried about themselves than anybody else, okay?
Just like Hovind, the ultimate narcissist. He wants to call everyone else a narcissist. Please, Hovind.
And something changed. She missed her new husband, her bridegroom. The bride then praises her beloved in the last 8 verses here. She says, man, he's awesome. He, my beloved, his head, his locks, his eyes, his knees, his cheeks, his lips, his hands, his belly, his legs, his countenance, his.
Yes, and you want to be that he, Kent, showing that you want it to be about you. But you're not a narcissist.
Mouth. He is altogether lovely. Anyway, let's start off here. Solomon.
Oh, yes. Very good point there, Zumi. Would you look at all those pronouns? Why are there so many pronouns?
Song of Solomon, chapter 5, begins with the bridegroom celebrating the consummation of their marriage. They go off on their honeymoon. Expressing joy in the intimate union, by stating he has come into his garden, gathered myrrh and spice, and enjoyed.
I'm be real. I don't think Kent will ever even get the memo that a given interview of him or anything has been taken down. No one's going to tell him. And if he does, like, it's going to be filtered through Joseph and them. They're not going to let Kim Jong Hovind be learn that. And yes, I know I just ruined the name from Korean formatting. It should be Hovind Jong-un. Dear Leader Hovind, be disappointed. They took down my interview. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Which, of course, would be an implication that he actually has emotions instead of just being the soulless beast that he is. He ain't gonna care. And if the George Janko one never does go up, that would just be hilarious because he talks so highly of it. Also, I finally looked. They were talking about 400 million people watch it. It's like he's got a YouTube subscriber base of like 3.2 million. Yeah, that's not 400 million, Kent. 3 is a smaller number than 400. So you guys are just dumb.
Honey, wine, and milk, inviting others to partake in the celebration of love. He then recounts a dream in which he knocked on the door at night, seeking to come in. But the bride hesitates, more concerned about herself, citing the inconvenience of getting dressed all over again and resoiling her feet, which delays her response. When she finally opens the door, her beloved has departed, leaving her brokenhearted and searching for him in the city streets, where she is mistreated by the watchmen who strike her and take her shawl. In her distress, she pleads with the daughters of Jerusalem to inform her beloved that she's lovesick. If you see my husband, tell him I miss him, okay? The daughters inquire about the uniqueness of her beloved, prompting her to offer a detailed poetic description of his physical beauty and admirable character, emphasizing his radiant, ruddy appearance, golden head, black hair, dove-like eyes, fragrant cheeks, lily-like lips, concluding he is worthy, wholly desirable. The chapter thus portrays the emotional depth of love, the pain of separation, the enduring pursuit of reunion, reflecting both the intimacy of marital love and, in the allegory sense, the relationship between Christ and the church.
Except this is Old Testament stuff, Kent. Right? I'm like 99% sure this is all Old Testament still. We ain't in the New, because I ain't seen him ramble on about some guys named Matt, Mark, Luke, and John. Where the hell you find people like that in the desert, I don't know. um, but yeah, there's only one thing in there that I knew anything about, and that's when he mentioned something about reunion. I mean, yeah, I've played Final Fantasy VII. I know about reunion with Genova. Do you want to discuss that, Kent? I'd much rather discuss that than whatever the hell you're on about here.
Here it is, Psalm of Solomon, chapter 5. I am come into my garden, my sister, my spouse. I've gathered my myrrh with my
He am come.
spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, O friends, drink, yea, drink abundantly, O beloved. So the bride talks now. I sleep, but my heart awaketh. It is the voice of my beloved that knocketh, saying, Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. For my head is filled with dew, and my locks with the drops of the night. I've put off my coat. How shall I put it on? I washed my feet. How shall I defile them? Hovind translation. Honey, I can't go open the door because I'm already in bed, or I don't want to get my feet dirty.
Oh, yes, the better world that Hovind thinks we all should live in, where this stuff is normal. You know, it's one of the great things is that as these stories become further and further back in history and the world they take place in become more and more alien, fewer and fewer people are going to care. Because that was another thing that made me not give a fuck about this kind of stuff as a kid, is that the stories were so foreign to how we live now. It was like, what's the point? What does this matter? We don't live like this anymore.
Sorry, Jesus, I don't have time to read your Bible, go pray, or go to church. I'm too busy watching these grown men in tight pants fight over that funny shaped ball.
I'd rather watch football than go to church, and I don't fucking care about football. But you know what? I do appreciate athleticism to degrees. I enjoy game theory and the nature of games and the sport events in that way. Football's rule set is pretty damn interesting, honestly. So, you know, I could find joy in that. As much as I do enjoy certain types of fantasy, I find no joy, literally or figuratively, in your mythological bullshit every Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's really important. Yeah. My beloved put his hand by the hole of the door, and my bowels were moved for him. I rose. She finally got up.
Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's quite literally a shit joke. Saying your bowels removed for somebody does not have the same meaning as it might have when this piece of crap was transcribed into stupid English. Yamato translation. She took a shit. God fucking damn. I can't take this shit seriously. Bible's fucking stupid, man.
To open the door, open to my beloved. And my hands dropped with myrrh, which is a type of perfume. And my fingers with sweet smelling.
999 super chat from Laura. Once again, Kent completely misses the point of this chapter. Misses the poetry of it. Misses the sadness of the bride. This is love poetry, and Kent is missing out all of it because of his stupidity. Very true. In all seriousness, the attempt here from the original authors is something very sweet, and it does convey. And of course, Hovind is missing it by trying to make it just another means to an end rather than appreciating it for itself. But of course, as we see that Kent doesn't appreciate people's ability to entertain themselves or be entertained by other things such as sports and athleticism, games, and just various pieces of pop culture, he clearly cannot appreciate art.
Myrrh upon the handles of the lock. Huh. What's this myrrh? Myrrh is mentioned in the Bible 17 times, okay? Interesting herb they use over there, myrrh. bunch of times just in Song of Solomon. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times just in that one book. Okay. Myrrh in the Bible is a fragrant gum resin obtained from trees of the whatever you call that species, native to the regions like Arabia, etc. Highly valued for its aromatic and
Can't read Kamaphora.
medicinal properties. It's first mentioned in the context of trade in Genesis 37. The caravan hauling Joseph down into slavery was carrying myrrh down to Egypt to sell it. In the Old Testament, myrrh is a key ingredient in the sacred anointing oil used in the Old Testament. Okay.
Kent, isn't that witchcraft? Why would you have sacred anointing oils? That's witchcraft. Burn the witch.
There's the myrrh plant they get it from. Myrrh is mentioned at Jesus' birth, mentioned at his death, mentioned at his burial. There's a sermon
Wow, who gives a fuck?
in there someplace, brother. You ought to be able to get that, okay? I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself. Well, you took too long getting out of bed, getting your shoes on. Some people are not excited about getting close to the Lord. He'll wait.
I don't know. Y'all excited to be close to Lord Yamato? Some of you have been in the same space as me, Tyler being one of them. Oh, I'm not that special. But, you know, I gotta joke like I am. Keep the ego going just a little bit longer, day by day.
He'll wait. God, you can wait till the game's over, can't you? This is, I think, the message behind here. He was gone. My soul failed when he spake. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer. The watchmen that went about the city found me. They smote me and wounded me. The keepers of the wall took away my veil from me. In that culture, it's really important, have a veil over your.
Okay, so she stayed out late and then got her ass beat by people, by patrols in the city. Shouldn't you be blaming the victim here, Kent? Because that's what y'all do in every other situation where a woman is wronged for no fucking reason.
Face. I charge you, O
Except, people being pure fucking evil.
daughters of Jerusalem, if you find my beloved, that you tell him that I'm sick of love. I miss him. Tell him. They said, what is thy beloved more than any other beloved? O thou fairest among women. What is thy beloved more than another beloved? Thou that dost so. Why do you tell us that? What makes you think you're important? Okay. What's so important about him? What about our husbands? Okay. So the bride praises her.
Wait. Hold up, Kent. Okay, no, she is talking to the daughters of Jerusalem. Okay, never mind. I thought she was still talking to the people who were accosting her, the men around the city and stuff. I'm like, what? Their husbands? What? The troll guys are gay now? I mean, that's cool. Just you sure that's what you want to say? But no, she's now talking to the daughters of Jerusalem, wherever the fuck they be.
Her husband. I'm going to tell you why he's important. My beloved is white and ruddy, the chiefest among 10,000. His head is as the most fine gold. His locks are bushy and black as a raven. This business of 10,000 is a song. I have found a friend in Jesus. He's everything to me. He's the fairest of 10,000 to my soul. I think it's a great message. Okay. His eyes are as the eyes of.
Oh, that sounds pretty homosexual to me. You guys are against that stuff, but that's sounding an awful lot like a love song. This is like when Cartman started that band in South Park, Faith Plus One, and they just took all the teen pop songs and those things and just replaced Baby with Jesus, and things got really weird sounding, but it sold. And then he got that Myrrh album. He couldn't get platinum, so he actually lost the bet with Kyle. That was great.
Doves by the rivers of water, washed with milk and fitly set. His cheeks are as a bed of spices, as sweet flowers, his lips like lilies, dropping sweet-smelling myrrh. There's myrrh mentioned again. His hands are as gold rings set with beryl. His belly is bright ivory overlaid with sapphires. His legs are as pillars of marble set upon sockets of fine gold. His countenance is as Lebanon, excellent in the cedar. His mouth is most sweet. Yea, he is altogether lovely.
Yeah, I interpreted take veil as a euphemism.
My beloved, and this is my friend. Isn't that great when your spouse is also your best friend? Awesome. Oh, daughters of Jerusalem. So he's altogether lovely. There's a song about that. He is altogether lovely. Jesus Christ, the risen Lord. Okay.
I crack some jokes, but seriously, these Jesus worship songs are a little bit freaky to me. Like you guys like this guy a little too much. I might want him inside you, want him to feel you. It's like, yep, you getting in some euphemisms there.
Jesus spoke to Moses, or the Lord spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaketh unto his friend. It's one thing to have Jesus as your Savior. That's wonderful. And as your guide through life, that's wonderful. But when you can get him to be your friend, you really made it to the top. So the Lord spoke to Moses face to face, just like his friend. Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, and he got him in trouble. Your friends can get.
Of course, he got him in trouble. His name was Jonadab. What the fuck? Jonadab. Man, you born? Your fucking name is Jonadab? What the fuck you gonna do? You're fucked, man. Game over.
You in trouble. Okay, just be cautious.
Life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Life ain't easy for a boy named Jonadab. Jonadab. Dab on them haters, yo.
Art not thou our God, and gavest his seed, gavest it to the seed of Abraham thy friend.
Is this the Kenovan Gooning Hour? No, this is Patrick.
The land of Israel was given to the Jews, by the way. Book of James. The scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness.
Kenthoven having friends, that's never going to happen. That's why he turned to Jeebus to begin with, because no one would actually be his friend.
And he was called the friend of God. Wow. I like that title.
Wow, I like that title.
God to look down from heaven with the angel. Hey, angel, see Kenthoven, he's my friend. Whew. Can't do better than that. Judas, one of the disciples, came and said, hey,
oh God, I just had an idea with him bringing up angels. I was thinking about, okay, Kent, can you describe a biblically accurate angel just to see what his perception of them is? But then I thought, biblically accurate angel is one thing, but biblically accurate Kenthoven, that's another. If you want to set some AI or your own artistic skills to that one, I would love to see it.
Guys, Jesus looked like everybody else. He had to pick him out of the crowd. Jesus did not have long hair. Everybody else, look at the pictures and coins and images from that day, the paintings, haircut, Baptist haircut, I call it.
No, they didn't.
Whoever I shall kiss, the same as he, hold him fast. Judas betrayed his friend with a kiss. He came forthwith, he came to Jesus and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. Jesus said, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Judas, why are you doing this? In the Luke, we see the same thing. Judas betrayed the Son of Man with a kiss. I'd highly recommend, if you're reading Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, keep in mind there are 4 different perspectives of the same guy, Jesus Christ. If your mother wrote a book about you, it probably would be different than if your 4th grade teacher wrote a book about you. Okay? So,
I mean, they are being written by different people.
But there's no contradictions, but they add different details. It's cool to get the...
Except for the parts that explicitly describe events differently, events that are contradictory to one another or would have occurred at the same time, and they're describing the same event explicitly differently.
Harmony of the Gospels and put them all together like that, blend them together. Other story. Anyway, then Song of Solomon, chapter 6. Whither is thy beloved gone, O thou fairest among women? Beloved, whither is thy beloved turned aside, that we may seek him with thee? This phrase, fairest among...
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Jesus and his disciples were all over each other, man. You know that Soviet anti-Soviet propaganda piece of fraternal kiss on like the Berlin Wall, and it's Gorbachev and Erich Honecker or somebody, or not Gorbachev, Brezhnev and Honecker or somebody, like big smooch. That whole super gay thing that like that was a thing in some cultures and stuff. Yeah. Look. I mean, again, I stress, do whatever you want to do. But don't protest acts that are judged as homosexual, and then one of the key elements of your mythology involves repeated usage of what is otherwise considerably a homosexual thing to do. All right, that doesn't work together, guys. Just saying. Get your story straight.
Among women, prettiest girl alive, I guess it means. It's only found 3 times, all of them in Song of Solomon here.
Let's be clear. If your mythology requires guys to be, smooching on each other all the time, go for it. You do your thing. But just be honest about what it is. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Everyone clear on that? I don't want to be taken out of context. Some bastard's going to try to do it.
Whither is thy beloved gone? Whither is thy beloved turned aside, that we may seek him with thee? All the girls are saying, he sounds like he's great. We'll go help you look for him. See, when lost people see that you really love the Lord and you seek to please him, they're also going to want to find this friend of yours.
All right, everyone, please Lord Yamato, so that more people come to please Lord Yamato. Yeah. That didn't sound right. Like I literally cannot think like that. I'm not wired to even joke about that kind of stuff of like, yeah, just fucking worship me. Even as a joke. Feels weird, man.
Are you living in such a way that other people who want what you've got as far as your relationship with God? You got to answer that question. I can't answer it. But if you try hard to,
you're not supposed to covet, Kent. You're not supposed to want. Or does that only apply to material things coincidentally?
please God, keep your life clean, read the Bible, talk sweetly to people, okay? Don't get angry, don't curse and swear. You claim to be a Christian, quit cursing.
Yeah, except you whack people in your Wednesday show all the time, and you call people morons and chickens, and you drop the R bomb on them and insult them all the time. But at least you didn't say fuck, shit, bitch, ass, or cunt. Woo.
Some of you Christians
But calling people morons is fine.
put stuff in your mouth.
Calling people retarded is fine.
You try to walk around in the cow pasture up north. Together in the garden of love, my beloved is gone down to his garden, to the beds of spices, to feed in the garden and to gather lilies. I am my beloved is mine. He feedeth among the lilies. This is the way the bride ought to feel about her husband, and the husband ought to feel about his bride. And this is all symbolic of the church and Jesus Christ.
No, it's a love story, Kent. That's it.
We're the bride of Christ. We covered that a couple weeks ago. My beloved is mine, and I am his. His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tirzah, comely as Jerusalem, terrible as the army with banners. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats. Today, your girlfriend would probably get upset if you said your hair looks like a flock of goats, I guess. But to them, it must have been okay.
I don't know about a flock of goats, but if I woke up with a flock of seagulls' hair, that'd be fucking awesome.
Okay, RJ, don't tell your wife her hair looks like a flock of goats, okay? You understand?
Yeah, he body slammed his third wife. Well, let's be clear. We call it a body slam. It was probably more of a shove over motion, making her unstable to where she fell. But when you use your mass against someone else, leverage that to cause them to fall and be injured, is that not a body slam in just another means to an end? I don't know.
Thy teeth are as a flock of sheep, which go up from the washing, whereof every one beareth twins. There is not one barren among them. As a piece of pomegranate are thy temples within thy locks. There are 80 queens and 80 concubines and virgins without number.
Wow, you really have to stress that in that particular way. 80 queens, 80 concubines. So you got your queens in X quantity. You got your concubines in one extra score of quantity. What's a score? 20? So what is that, 60 and 80? And then, oh man, you just have to stress the virgins without number. But where are the perverts, Kent? Where are the sickos? Where are the horrible people? Why does that matter? Why is that in the text? Why is that point stressed in that way? Huh. Oh, right. The patriarchal bullshit that is all Abrahamic faiths. As just starters.
My dove, my undefiled, is but one.
But the Bible's the good book that everyone just needs to love. It contains everything good, nothing wrong whatsoever, nothing even remotely close to being wrong or otherwise creepy or otherwise, odd to focus on. That's very particular to bring up.
She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice one of her that bare her. The daughters saw her and blessed her, yea, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. So she must have won a beauty contest. I don't know. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? I went down into the garden of nuts. I've been there, Joseph. I've been to quite a few universities to do debates with atheists. Yes, sir. I went right into the garden of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shut up, Joseph. God, you're pathetic. Also, the way you'd spell that your, since you don't understand the difference between your and probably the difference between there, and there, it's you are pathetic. Therefore, it'd be YOU apostrophe RE. If I didn't fuck up spelling it that way, but it would have the apostrophe, not the not apostrophe version. Because remember, and I took screenshot of it, at one point, Joseph corrected me on a secondary account and Laura here incorrectly on our usage of your, straight backwards, because he doesn't have a fucking clue. But of course, that's the intelligence level of these kinds of people.
Nuts, okay, to see the fruits of the valley, to see whether the vine flourished and the pomegranates budded. The garden of nuts. Here they are, folks, walking down the street.
No, you go to 188 Pearl Lane, Lenox, Alabama, you'll find the Garden of Nuts. Fuck off, Kent. Gay people are fucking awesome.
The garden of nuts, Berkeley High School. No wonder Berkeley University gets to select the nuts to finish the job. Okay. The garden of nuts. Yeah, okay. However, I was aware my soul.
God damn it, I'm muted. God damn it, Kent. You bigot. You're a fucking bigot, and I'm not going through what I was going through. I had a good spiel going, realized I was muted, and said, fuck it. You're a bigot. You were talking in the last video about how framers of the Constitution want us to live good lives, but then you want to oppress people. That's not helping them live good lives, Kent.
Made me like the chariots of Aminadab. Return, return, O Shulamite. Return that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? This word Shulamite is only used twice in the Bible. This is it. As it were, the company of two armies. I think the people on earth, the people are saying, would you bring this woman back? We want to see this Shulamite. Hovind translation. I think this is symbolic of the return of Christ with his bride. See, if you look at the chart behind me, or you can get the chart on our website.
No, I can't see the fucking chart behind you because it's a bunch of fucking squiggles, you fucking moron. I don't care either. This shit is stupid. The Bible's full of a lot of garbage crap, but this shit right here, all the fucking, Revelation shit, Judgment Seat of Christ, Marriage of the Lamb, fucking Mount Olives, what the fuck is this shit, Kent? Who took some tainted ass mushrooms and wrote this crap? Because I want to go back in time and kick them square in the balls for being this stupid. You can't even write good apocalyptic fiction. It's got to be this garbage.
Or the little small version of it here. $10 for the small version with all the verses from Daniel and Matthew, Mark, Luke about the rapture. And it comes after the tribulation, by the way. If you disagree, I'm sorry. Keep studying. It took me 40 years to change my mind on this topic. We're here for the tribulation. Anyway, we see the rapture, the catch. The word rapture just means to snap.
Joe, that wouldn't surprise me in the least, but nonetheless, Kent is incorrect when he is stating that they aren't, on YouTube, and Joseph is doing this on his behalf. So it's still their stuff. It's done as a group thing. And that's the thing that needs to be understood, is that all of this stuff being done under the CSE/GBC/DAL banner is one and the same. So if he's not telling Kent that, then, that's its own thing between Joseph and Kent. but that doesn't make Kent innocent. He should know what's going on. He should know what's being done on his behalf. And honestly, I don't trust Joseph and them not to lie regardless about what actually is or isn't going on to try to defend Kent.
Snatch away. You grab something and snatch it away. That's rapture. The Lord's going to grab his bride out of here, the church.
And yes, I did catch I was muted before I noticed, or before anyone else could say anything. I mean, that means I caught it within 30 seconds, so yeah.
And then we go to the judgment. Now, he only comes down to the clouds to do that. Jesus does not touch down to the earth. Comes to the clouds, calls his bride up, goes to the judgment seat of Christ, which is not to determine heaven or hell. That's already decided, or you wouldn't be there. Everybody there is going to heaven. The question is, what kind of rewards do you get? Then we go to the marriage supper of the Lamb for nearly 3 years, and then come back. This is called the day of Christ, which is different than the day of the Lord. If you don't have a King James.
Yeah, and what in the actual goddamn hell is a marriage supper of the Lamb? Can you explain that in a way that isn't stupid?
You're really going to get your theology screwed up on end times. They interchange those all the time.
Also, I saw elation down there, thought there was something saying lactation, and I was about to be like, what the fuck is even that? But then I saw what it actually said.
Get my book on the topic, What on Earth is About to Happen.
No, I won't.
Or my video series on the topic, Whoa, What on Earth is About to Happen. It's 22 hours teaching on this topic. Okay, let's see. So we're raptured up. Jesus comes down to the cloud, calls us up. Then we go to the marriage supper of the Lamb. Then we come back with him on white horses, all the way down to the Battle of Armageddon. So I think this last verse in Song of Solomon 6 is talking about.
Well, no, that's still Joseph on Kent's behalf. I mean, Kent, seriously, let's not overestimate what this man can do technology-wise. He barely can make a PowerPoint slide. But still, the fact that it's being done at all is still his content under his jurisdiction. Someone doing it on his behalf is his own thing. It's like if I'm at work and I do something stupid, I'm responsible for that stupid thing I do. Like if I was to just piss off a customer, but my managers still also have to deal with it as part of the overarching structure of the way the business actually works. So, it's that same logic.
There are two armies gathered together. And we get to be part of that one army, the bride of Christ. We're going to fight against Satan and his army, the heathen down here, okay? So the second coming of Christ has two parts to it. They call it the first advent and the second advent. First part, he comes to the cloud, snatches us up. Second time, he comes down with us all the way to the Mount of Olives and splits in half. And the Battle of Armageddon takes place.
Look, I'm just saying, y'all would have to... If I was to get access to the entire WoW series and we were to do marathon stream of it, it would require non-stop donations. The amount of donations coming in would have to rival that of the income of some small countries. It would go a long way towards helping me with some stuff, but it would be an ordeal. Although I'm not sure how much of WoW is available, it would be interesting to do some stuff on. Maybe down the line.
I put about 40 million hours into that chart, so you might want to get one and study it carefully. Okay. Return, O Shulamite. Return, that we may look upon thee. What will ye see in the Shulamite? As it were, the company of two armies. Hovind translation, I think that's talking about people down on earth after they see the Christians taken out. Would you please come back? We need to find out how to... People are still going to get saved during that 1,000-year kingdom. And there's still going to be lost people. At the end...
Now, see, that's something funny right there, is that if we were to see anything that remotely matches this mythology, and the average atheist has explained this to you morons ad infinitum, that would be a reason to begin potentially accepting this stuff. That would do infinitely more than all of the sophistry you morons have come with for millennia on end. Because that would be a tangible, like, all of these people disappeared in exactly the way Magic Book of Bullshit describes. Maybe there's actually something going on with this. So there you go, Kent. But it's not going to happen.
Into that 1,000 years, Satan is still able to raise up an army. He's down in the pit at the bottom down there. Satan is down in the pit for 1,000 years. When he's released, Revelation chapter 20, he's able to gather an army again. Some people are going to live for 1,000 years with Jesus ruling the world and still hate him.
I don't know, man. Oh no, I don't quite see that there'd be a reason for that. See, you're going to try to go on without saying it, trying to go on something that some people are just intrinsically evil, and it's like, not really, no. Not in that way, not that black and white cartoonishness.
Some people you can't fix.
Boy, all the coughing in there.
No matter what, Joseph. There's certain kinds of stupid you can't even fix with a 2x4 or Louisville Slugger. But anyway, that's Hovind theory. I think that's it. Okay, so Song of Solomon, chapter 5 and 6. Let's pray. Lord, teach us, Father, to prepare for your coming. I pray that you help us to get everybody else we can.
Oh, he's praying. Boo, fuck you, Hovind.
To get saved so they can be ready too and go with us.
Fucking
Lord, guide us. Please bless our little ministry. Help us to reach millions worldwide. If there's someone watching this today, Lord, that's not one of your children, they're not.
And yeah, quite honestly, if there was a rapture, the amount of parties of just, I don't have to deal with these fuckers anymore, would be just off the fucking wall.
In the bride.
It'd be great.
I pray that they'll accept you as their Savior today. Get their sins forgiven. Get you living inside of them. Start working inside to rebuild a whole.
Because, you know, the sacrifice isn't an automatic forgiveness. You still have to accept it. So it's still conditional. Never let anyone tell you it's unconditional, because it's not. It's conditional.
New person. Please, Father, use this message in our little ministry to reach millions. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, thank you so much.
Based on view counts, Kent, you're barely reaching hundreds.
See you tomorrow night. Song of Solomon, chapter 7.
Fuck off, Kent. Also, 7? What happened to chapter 6? What happened to chapter 6, Kent? Huh? What happened? I need answers, Kent. What happened to chapter 6? Did you eat it? Is it testifying against you? I need answers. Anyway, holy shit, I'm tired. It's getting hot in here. I should probably adjust the heat. I should probably go get something to drink and just begin trying to, sorry, yawns there, try to spend the rest of my Sunday relaxing. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Let's see. Not up to your standards, not owning people's property anymore. Yeah. Favorite Star Trek, calling a heretic if they pick a different one from you. Yeah. Stuff's crazy. Stuff's crazy. Right. I don't have anything special to add. I'm going to hop off here. As the yawns continue, it's the damn lighting. It's just me being tired. I'm always fucking tired. Anyway. I'll, Yamato. I'm going to hop off and catch everyone next time. Probably not going to stream again today. Thought I might, but nope, don't have the energy for it. Y'all take it easy. I'll be in Discord and floating around the World Wide Web of the internet. Later. Helped understand any of the Woe series. Grew up with that crap. Volunteers Tribute. Okay, we'll have to plan something out then.